So when I said this, but it's like I don't think the router's set up correctly, so I had to do, and there's a workaround for it that my landlord told me I can use, but it was kind of whack, and that's why it took me a while to be here.
That's good. It was like 2
made me
minutes.
sad. Hey,
Anyway,
what's up?
we're gonna dive right back into it. Court case. I don't know anything.
It's okay.
I think I don't even know who we're defending at this point. They arrested the police officer. What are we even doing here?
Wait, they arrested Llama Homburg.
They arrested
Cowboy
Mike
Edition?
Meekins.
Oh, never mind.
Michael
makes me sad too.
Meekers.
Actually, that makes me less sad. That means his voice won't pierce
well,
my
no, it'll
fucking
be me.
eardrums. Oh.
It'll be me. I guess I'll continue being Phoenix unless, yeah.
That's good.
I can do that. You have Edgeworth back though. Well, I guess Llama could be Phoenix, right? Yeah, Llama could do Phoenix.
Yeah, Llama could do Phoenix.
Sure, I could be Phoenix.
Because yeah, you have no one else that unless the cowboy immediately comes in. So what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are.
True.
Big true.
After all,
Oh,
the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time.
I just didn't expect you to show up. I'll be real.
Well,
I forgot about you.
and a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes.
You know, you
Sus.
you want to explain anything going on? Lana, I forgot how to say your name.
Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though.
So how'd it go?
It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless.
I think that's everyone. Does anyone have one clue?
I
I
figured
do.
as much, so I struck a plea bargain.
A plea bargain? What do you mean by that?
We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma.
I don't like this.
But Lana, don't tell me you...
Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky,
Dude, there's a thing. I'm gonna start grilling the cop in the background. Do you know what is happening?
we found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room.
Oh yeah, we did. Whoa, did not remember that. Stop.
How you do?
They belonged to Officer Jake Marshall.
Did not remember Cowboy was actually relevant.
What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact.
Okay, it's the Rudinous Tudinous murder in the West.
Oh, yo.
That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall?
Llama Homburg Gaming?
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky?
That is the law of the Ace Attorney court. You have to take someone down.
Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright.
Real Perry Mason hours.
Real hours.
Real hours.
True. Why didn't he kill the victim with a giant Texas sign? I was told it wasn't relevant to the case. Holy shit, is Jake Marshall relevant here? Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky and I think the entire city.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh, goodness gracious, right. Prosecution is...
He's here.
I'm afraid you have to clarify.
It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time.
But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim... what the fuck is wrong? I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Wow, this is one messed up trial.
One of my duties as a prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Now that's what set Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself.
And that's supposed to be an admirable trait.
Very well, then let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand.
Oh boy. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department.
Yay. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Holy shit. Oh,
The sus.
I don't even know what, how many murderers are there?
And wild from the get-go.
Oh no.
There he is.
Oh no. Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
I like that his head is a shape.
Yeah, it's just a fucking stop sign.
Yes, sir, I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, felony murderer, sir. No one is happy about this. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You can't believe me, sir! Actually, what we'd like to hear from you, sir, I'm what you call a part of the younger generation, sir! A person's action results cannot possibly comprehend! Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir!
Officer Meekins.
This is terrifying. Yes, sir!
Give us your reports of the crime. Consider that in order.
Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm, but I can't fault him for blowing out my eardrums.
Did you say something right?
No. That's the other one. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. His name?
Great testimony.
What? So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others as they would do unto you. I will murder him back if I have to. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see that you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir, he knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
What I need here is more info to work with.
What I need here is to remember what the hell's in my evidence. I mean, I'm not gonna just start firing.
Report, sir.
I'm gonna press him first, but I just need to know what I'm doing because I don't remember. So
Yeah,
that's all the stuff
Present here.
that was here
Defense attorney's
before.
badge. Let's see.
The shoe, the
photo.
switchblade, luminol.
Luminol testing fluid.
Yeah, everyone and their mother just says I did it.
You
Despite
did it?
No, every single person's like, I'm the killer. Probably not.
So who done it?
Uh,
ID card record. Fingerprinting set.
Screwdriver evidence from a past case of Edgeworth. Affidavit document dated. Can only be submitted.
Bagged evidence from the
locker.
line. Evan
Oh yeah,
Gunn's
there's
locker.
a fun Nintendo DS minigame.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Whatever, time to scream some more.
Hold it.
Mr. Meekins, you work in... Sorry, I took my glasses off for a second. Right. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir! I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir!
Yikes, now there's a scary thought.
Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir! Oh no. The Blue Badger! Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir!
Oh,
Why is it being guarded? I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. This was the most important thing we could have done! That was my sole mission for the day, sir!
oh me.
We couldn't move it anywhere! It had to be there!
I'm so proud of you.
I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room.
Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
Not the Blue Badger, apparently. It's evidence transferal day, and you're moving the Badger to the room? Why?
Because it's very important. It's
That's
a
like
task
the
free
worst place to put it.
Money.
The room
It's
where
task free money.
the room where everybody's doing something in. Who's this?
It's like a giant storage room. You never been to a warehouse? Ever seen the storing fucking show?
In order to enter the evidence room,
Yeah, I understand what a warehouse is, but I'm not storing the sacred object on warehouse cleaning day.
You've never seen Indiana Jones free money?
you need an ID card. Am I correct?
I have seen Indiana Jones. Precisely,
Believe
sir.
you.
I have one right here around my neck. Oh, well, I don't know if that's your neck, but whatever.
It's close.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right?
It's me. That's me right there. Miles Edgeman.
There it is! I found it!
Fuck.
This is the one right here! Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir, it's 498965596. That's my number, sir.
Alright, please tell us the 4 digits on the
Huh?
back of
With
the
the
card.
number 4989596.
I can even give you my social security, my credit card, the expiration, the 4 wacky numbers on the back, if it's American Express.
It's shown as being used twice.
Damn.
Uh-oh.
So we got the guy who's blazing it, and then the rest.
Dude, it's sevens. Please, explain, witness.
420. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir, that was when I spotted the man on the security screen. Yeah, you can
Oh,
scream.
I'm so glad that stopped blaring in our ears.
Hold up. I'm just double-checking my knowledge check real quick.
Checking your brain, the folds. Neatly pressed.
I have nothing. I'm solving. What I'm thinking of right now. I don't think I could even press this man about. I'm just. I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but
I
that's
don't think
okay.
you should jump the gun. I think you should press the statement screen.
No, I'm just thinking. So he went in at 5:14 p.m., but Edgeworth's car, presumably with the body in it, was already there at 5:12. But it takes 30 minutes. Well, he didn't have the body in it to begin with, but the car was only there starting from 5:12. Which leaves negative time to put a fucking body. So, one of these is... I swear, there's 2 dead people. And for some reason, we're just not acknowledging this fact. And we're still assuming it's the same guy. I guess because a body disappeared. Anyway.
The body was discovered.
What's up? Hold it.
So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir!
Among Us!
I froze a knife!
Among Us!
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging at him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. If you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar, like an octopus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even, like, thinking about what he's saying, and I need to.
What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife.
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I see. Must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir! When is this guy supposed to be dead?
I don't know.
This is...
At what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious!
Oh, right.
According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too! I woke up crying tears of pain! That's nice. Or, I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir!
Your mission.
Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir!
This is very relevant. This is very relevant.
I returned into the entrance before things got out of hand. It is really relevant. Prosecutor, man.
Well, we can all rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear.
Most of the case.
Most of the case, yes. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
That's my question of the day.
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins. With regards to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered to me just this morning, sir.
The chief?
But I don't have a VHS player.
Delivered it.
What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Objection. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. And I was told it was mistakenly erased.
Edgeworth continues to get owned. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
It's like communication with the police department. That's as good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. It was kung fu.
A video of a real murder. Just what we're getting ourselves into.
Everyone get your popcorn.
I already packed mine. Oh,
Why
yes,
is the song playing
yes,
on the video
yes,
tape?
Yes. There he is.
What? Oh, well.
This is great. This is wonderful.
This is awesome.
I told you it's relevant, Freem.
Dude, his face is just conveniently blocked by the badger at every turn. Awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
This camera has to swivel at all times.
There's, you gotta admit the modeling is pretty good.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Whoa.
How inconvenient.
Whoa, look at him go like a...
Dude, he's getting... Oh, what? I'm not owned. I'm not owned.
Look at that octopus attack, dude. Oh, we're going back.
Oh,
Let's see what we
yeah,
got.
let's go. Well, this...
Wow.
I think the wrong guy is dead.
Fantastic evidence right here.
Awesome. Awesome. There's something hanging out of the locker on the end.
Oh boy.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. What the fuck? How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
He's so mad. Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir.
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
I don't even know if Edgeworth is prosecuting or like Phoenix is defending anyone at this point. Like we're just all in the same hell boat.
We're just all in a room.
The worst piece of footage. Five Nights at Freddy's. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place.
Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. Are you back at it? Oh, it's a new one. Okay.
Mystery Man.
New
It's a
testimony.
mystery man.
Witness testimony.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. I have a theory, but I'll get back to that. What's this about a fingerprint?
Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing. This would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. There's a cat trying to break into my courtroom. Don't let her in. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Actually, breaking the cat in if it'll kill that badger.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, or where this cat is coming from, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start.
I'm like giga-braining things, but I know the game. I'm not there yet, so I'm gonna just let the depressing play out and go from there.
Oh, you don't know. You might pull this classic Ace Attorney mistake.
Well, that's why I'm
jumped the
waiting.
gun.
No, that's why I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm pressing first. Well, I agree, but hold it.
Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife?
Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter.
Oh, the latter. But you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. It's probably not Bruce Goodman who was in the room.
Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
But still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it, and I am now unemployed. Well, the same thing, pretty much, but, you know, hold it.
But you don't know that for sure, do you? You've never actually seen Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Ah! Well, why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or...
Meekins.
Think about this. Ah!
Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir! Sorry it took me an hour to strangle myself.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I can do it again!
The man who... yes, do so. No. You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him.
That is a good point. However, I'm sus on this thing, but hold it anyway.
How about these lockers? Is there no other way to open them?
No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. I break into them often. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
I wonder what kind of methods he's tried.
I tried to put a blue badger in everyone's locker. It would have been great. The man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to his registered fingerprints. Then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too! This is my point that I'm not reading!
Whoa, look how fast he's reading.
How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
People in the know.
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
Oh, God.
There's romantic troubles.
Oh, for the record. The open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source.
So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. One more for the road.
However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir! If I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important to this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened his fingerprint lock. It was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify it after this, sir! Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. I froze, I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, Mr. Wright. It's a 50-50 shot.
Actually, there might...
Is there a problem with the security video? Regarding the video contained on this tape, she was pogging a second ago. There's one particular thing that seems rather strange.
It was a PogChamp, Mr. Wright. It's all over the internet.
Wow.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. That really fucked me up for some reason.
What? Did this video contain such a contradiction?
Objection, Mr. Wright. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth.
I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video.
Dude, I relate to Phoenix so much right now because I'm bluffing the hell. And I'm not quite there yet.
He would want me to point it out.
He would want me to do my job as a lawyer. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
I hope you love the DS touchscreen, Mr. Wright.
I have to point out a problem in the video? It's the first time I've ever had to do that.
Is this another funny Nintendo DS moment? It absolutely is. You can do it, Mr. Wright.
It
It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing.
So
Please don't play it too many times,
becomes-
like I can't stand watching this video!
Never mind.
How did this guy ever become a police officer?
He's a Blue Badger officer. Now then, Mr.
Nepotism.
Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates this man may not be Detective Goodman?
Have fun, Mr. Wright.
Welcome to a minigame.
Okay, so let's just pause and think about our livelihood here.
I think the blue badger is very blue and a badger, and I think you should go and point him out. Yes.
So hold up. Let me get out of here. Okay, I can present something. So my court record probably. So hold up. Okay, yeah. So
The guide that I have up.
So the glove falls out. Let me just try to focus on. What's my fast forward button? Enter.
Enter.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. That dude gets decked. I just wanted to take that in. Oh wait, actually we could. Okay.
You're having fun?
That's enough of that.
Poor meekins.
That is. I noticed something the first time it played. Meekins is out. The locker's open. But. There's now something in this locker. All of a sudden. I don't know if this directly well, this proves that this locker got open. And right now, this is the thing I'm focused on. If it's wrong, I have the HP to go for it.
No, Mr. Wright, it's an instant lose.
The thing that's strange about this video has to be this.
I don't like it when you're vague, Phoenix. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. Could we please be more specific so I know I'm right? What could it mean?
Objection.
It's not
Sorry
looking
to
good.
interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you're wrong. You seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise.
Someone else used the locker, Edgeworth!
The point?
What are you looking, or I should say, fuck, what you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman.
Oh yeah.
Whew, I almost walked right into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir. What?
Too bad, Mr. Wright.
My logic is sound. Phoenix just doesn't want to talk about the fact that someone had to open the other locker.
I think you don't actually get penalized here, though.
Now what do I do?
Yeah, you don't get penalized.
Very well. Let's try this again.
Oh, just remember one thing, Mr. Wright. Every time you point your fingers someone gets hurt. I'm pointing my
Says
finger.
the one pointing his finger at us.
Yes.
I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please do it again. We're back at it.
It's the first time I've ever had to do that.
Just play it 300 times. Why do
Something.
why do we have to do the dialogue again?
Because this
Just in case you forgot.
Okay, so now I do have to look through my bullshit. It's something I click on.
I think this is the best penalty if you lose. You have to go back to this with this song. This is the real penalty.
There's a blue badger plush on Fangamer.
Oh,
And
I saw that.
If you squeeze it, it makes this music.
Yes! Yo, I gotta get that.
Okay, I was just seeing if there was more in that note. I don't remember if there was.
I got the Spamton and the Jebel ones, which do a similar thing.
I think it's out of stock right now, unfortunately.
Oh, god damn it.
It is very silly though.
Yeah.
This glove falls out. I'm just making sure there's nothing stupid.
That
about
looked
it.
like super detailed from the angle, and then you moved it around. And I remember you're playing a game that was on the TS.
Yeah, I feel like this jar is supposed to be somewhere here, and it's just not, but I don't know how I could really play with that.
I don't know, you'll figure it out, free money.
Oh, I could frame by frame this? Awesome. Isn't this great? So I'm specifically looking for this man. What's on this guy's wrist? I'm overthinking, but it looks whack.
It does look whack.
It does, yeah.
I think that's just shit clipping through his model.
It's a good friend, Mikey boy. I'm gonna assume nothing on that half of the... Dude gets sticked. This is 100% the right locker, right? Like, that's...
What, that locker?
Yeah,
The one that's open?
yeah,
That's good, man.
okay.
Edgeworth said as much earlier.
I will maybe ask for a hint later. I'm gonna...
I think you're gonna figure it out because you're very smart. This is my logic right here.
Dude's already got blood on him.
Damn, it's kind of fucked up.
I'm not meaning to pause. I mean to do this.
Frame, you're watching a video of a moiter. This isn't a
How's
funny
he
video.
get out of this room? But okay, repeat it.
I don't know. Maybe he just leaves.
Oh, wait a minute.
Run cook. What you cooking, Frame?
Indicator light. The lamp is already on. No one's here yet, and the light is on. Which means his locker is open for anyone. Chabot.
The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Sir! Do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. You're
My-
a game about it.
My song follows you everywhere!
When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, it beeps. The light turns on and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture.
We have to get all the way back there. Yay.
It's great.
Yay.
Aren't you having so much fun?
Woo!
Let's go.
The Nintendo DS.
Let's go.
Nintendo DS.
They had the technology.
They did.
When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier.
I
I
think the fact that you have to listen to the song is just.
I am the moonwalking man.
Here, notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit! Like me.
Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
Holy shit, that guy screamed like a maniac. Order! Order! What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. Also, I'm gonna
The locker
tag out.
locks. Oh,
I'm gonna tag out for a moment.
Gotcha.
Feel free to voice Phoenix somebody. But I will be right back.
I'll let Barlow do
Oh,
it since I'm
God.
everyone else in the room.
alright. Alright, Mr. Wright. Time to diss myself. But the locker locks were controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then,
Yeah.
Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor?
Yes, why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor?
Poor Phoenix.
Yeah, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor?
Something jam the sensor. Say.
Oh,
There's something else that seems kind of out of place in this video.
maybe like the glove that fell out of the locker immediately after it got
Yeah.
opened. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. I've already found it. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. Oh, God. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the cause for this. Okay, at least I know what I'm looking for. I'm pretty confident it's the glove.
Are you sure?
I mean, it was holding the locker open, right?
It could be. I don't see the glove there.
Oh, well, there it is.
Oh, well, now you gotta go get the glove.
I have to go back and go get it. Yo, check this shit out.
Your cat's great. Oh, shit. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier.
So, do we have to start again?
Yo. I love the Nintendo DS, dude.
Yo. I haven't shown the ways of the monk. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall when doors are opened. I often fall and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir.
What the shit?
A delayed objection of huh?
We can't be sure that the item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
You could use a seatbelt. What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted? Just in case you didn't... I don't get it, Mr. Wright. Please show me the video again. I just need it explained to
Your
me.
Honor. Absolutely, Your Honor. I'll show the video as many times as you like. Womp. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. I became the judge. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. When instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have been extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene.
There just might be. There just might have been something that fits the description.
But sir, by insulator, you don't mean...
I think I finally got this figured out.
Very well, would the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck inside the locker door? What am I...
I don't really know why I'm presenting this, because it's pretty obvious, Your Honor.
Hold up. It's the glove again. Okay.
Yeah,
it's super. It's the fact that they asked me a second time faked me out. I'm like, wait, didn't we just talk about it being the glove?
I think the judge just forgot his medicine. I found this near the locker. It's a thin rubber
I guess
glove.
there's no way of knowing it was a rubber from the video alone. That's the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker.
There's a tag on it that says the SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker.
Oh, you're the killer. Wait, think about it.
Is that not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir! It would appear so, sir! Holy shit, I can't believe I watched that video 8 times. Order, order, order! So I really believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in this video is indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. But I'll think really hard. Oh! You mean that, sir? Of course, sir!
Is this a joke?
Very well, begin your testimony. About something. Mystery Man.
Mystery Man number 2.
There's one other thing that proves that man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used as a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had to use his card. That's it. An ID card record. I see.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. My name's right there. The ID used at 5:14 was that of the victim.
Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. I'm all alone. That's okay, I will stall for 5 minutes. I'm okay switching the voices around, but I don't want to be everyone. So let's stare into my beautiful eyes and listen to my cat echo from outside the room. When she feels like it. Bum 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 bum. So yeah, Goodman who got stabbed is definitely just someone else, probably, because we found his ID not on the body. It was just in the parking lot. So that could have got there through any means. Through any means, through any means. Bum 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 bum. Let me put on my say psych right now image, so people know I'm not just fooling around. My say psych right now. Me when the blue badger is blocking every single useful piece of evidence. Dun, 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 dun. Ow, 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 ow. I need to set up like a second intermission game in the background. That's the real play. I simply have no ideas. Yes, welcome back. Your screams that echo through the stratosphere. Welcome back.
I'm back. I had to go and I got a basically kind of an urgent call from my landlord, but we're all good. Apparently her phone was shut off for like 2 days.
I wish that was me.
So, no, actually, it was terrible.
No, just the phone being off part, not anything else.
Oh, damn, Freem.
However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too, although it really doesn't make much of a difference.
Goddamn.
There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Right, I see. Now let's move on to the cross-examination.
Mystery Man 2, sequel to Morbius.
Mystery Man. Boom. There's no way pressing this is useful, but I've been wrong before.
So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir! Solid as stone, sir! My hand, I wasn't wrapped in bandages! I need to get the V for victory side, sir! Can he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. One must use their ID card. This is true, but let's hold it anyway.
Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir! This card right next to my cuff, sir! I keep it here so I won't ever forget it!
But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time is my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me.
Maybe I should just leave this one alone.
This guy lives a hard life.
Yeah,
of his own
at any
accord.
rate, each police officer only has one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this.
Please proceed with your testimony. Because used as a record of it. This sounds right, but hold it anyway.
Alright, let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman.
Huh? What's the matter?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here.
It's me. Ah. So it is, Your Honor.
Holy shit, I can't believe Edgeworth's name is on there. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mom, she said, stop bringing your child to the murder case.
Got the wrong color, kid.
Phoenix took a stray bullet there. It would seem.
Yeah.
The inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today.
I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination.
Yeah, I think dude just went in a room when he was told to in this case. Like...
I love Edgeworth in this case.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth, it must be so difficult for him to get owned constantly.
Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked about the man to show his ID card, or asked the man, I should say, he pulled a knife on you.
Yes, sir, he didn't show me any ID card, sir.
Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was just show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife.
Maybe he just panicked?
Everything thing stems from contradictions. Let's point them out.
Mr. Wright, what do you think?
I'm confused.
What?
The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious, and that Freem has to point out in 10 seconds. It's not like
Die.
Edgeworth to miss something like this.
You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. It's probably, well, let me get... You only... Yeah, at the time of the crime, the detective had used this card. What time had the detective actually used his card, according to this thing?
I bet it was this time.
Wow.
7:57 p.m.
5:14.
11/20, 2023.
This whole timeline, the time of the... Which crime?
Actually, go back to the ID cards again. I just want to double check. I think this is actually probably the thing you mentioned earlier. By that, I mean it's probably that there's no fucking way that that body can go in a car within like 30 minutes or whatever amount of time.
The whole
So
timeline of events doesn't make sense, but I'm unsure which this is one of those cases where I'm like, oh god, which one of these things does it want from me here? Let me just read this again for the sake of... Okay, that's not helpful here. That fits any time period, so...
There's like one for yeah. I don't know if it's the parking stub either. This is tough.
Because, like, yeah, the answer is this timeline doesn't make sense, but what...
This timeline's whack.
But what part of the timeline? I'm gonna...
Actually, wait, go back.
I don't know the where. Where?
The ID card. No, that wouldn't help either. I was gonna say, you can maybe point that out.
I mean,
Wait.
well, no, the card, how, well, because this still, yeah, no, this still tells you that the card was used at 5:14. How is it at the prosecutor's office slot?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, these are all the same point. It's just which one does the game want?
I would say try the card.
I'll try the card first. If it's not the card, it might just be the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, it is the card.
Oh,
nice.
We're gaming.
Nice.
Wait, one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir!
Alright, well, I have the victim's ID card right here, so you don't have to wait, because I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't, because when I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
A lost item report. It's only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime.
Oh, his ID card, perhaps.
Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying this card.
Holy shit, I can't believe that dude lost his card, like Mike Meekins. Order! So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Holy shit, I can't believe it wouldn't be Detective Goodman. In fact, it's almost like he didn't die twice. Order! Does the prosecution have a response?
I only have one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo?
Edrich has an owning ready.
Oh, he does. Oh, I do. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, The man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are 2 grounds to support this.
The one below them?
The ground below, the ground here, and also this video, because the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked, as seen by the light. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Dude, he's like charging up his special attack, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah. Yes. What's he up to?
He's far too coy.
That being the case, we will and we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. Well, you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. That is right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around, like I'm doing so now. That isn't going to end well. This isn't going to end well. I'm tapping
Fight
my
yourself.
forehead now. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove, Mr. Wright.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth!
The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department on 5/15 on the day of the crime.
So
the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Sky, the defendant.
Oh, at least we...
The evidence is compelling.
Like, that's not good for us, but I mean, at least we circled around to, like, something reasonable.
A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
Holy shit, I can't believe nothing was accomplished.
This is the case, alright. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. Damn it, Edgeworth, you trapped me again. Whoa, it's Lama Humber.
Welcome back. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman.
Just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana...
Llama?
Oh, am I back to Phoenix?
I thought so. If that's good with
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess?
Well, they gotta object.
One moment, Your Honor.
Oh, what now, Mr.
Like, I have an end goal in mind here, but I don't exactly know how to make it relevant.
Bluffin'.
Because the idea is that, I mean, the cowboy was the fake victim. Because his fingerprints were on the locker, but how is that relevant? I don't know, so I have to figure that out.
Well, you better bluff. Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven, Mr. Wright.
No.
Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
Oh no. What are you talking about? I didn't trap anyone.
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. That dude got fucked up. The security video did not show the actual murder.
Dum-de-dum-de-dum-dum-dum. Oh, that cloth is... Okay, hold up. I'm solving things off screen in my brain.
Just like Danganronpa.
However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, Your Honor.
If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Oh, well, Phoenix is doing it for me. Mr. Wright, do you mean?
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh, whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth.
I can already feel the southern accent going back into you.
Fuck me. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
Do you want me to take Phoenix back when Meekins leaves?
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name, Mr. Wright. Oh, why be so verbose before deciding whether or not to comply?
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify. What is his or her name? Thinking.
Lana Sky. Chief Gant!
Yeah. Thinks he's a cowboy.
Thinks he's a cow.
Officer Jake Marshall.
Why him?
I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
Nice.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is yeah, whatever that is. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time?
We will, Your Honor.
Court is now at recess. Mike Meekins is not invited.
Good.
He can play with the blue badge on in his own time.
February 24, 11:32 a.m.
That means
District
11:32
Court.
a.m.
Detention. Lobby number 2.
Welcome to detention.
That's a different version.
There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? So, are we making the swap now?
Yeah, I'll swap the Phoenix. Huh? What do you mean?
You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything.
Emma?
You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you.
I don't recall ever asking for his protection.
How could he be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? No. What?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Detective Gumshoe jump scare.
Detective Gumshoe jump scare. How does one react to this information? Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later. Yep, I'm sad. Detective Gumshoe.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
Oh, I'm back. You got a lot of nerve, pal. Make a detective run around while I'm through. Yeah. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
Oh, you better be, pal. Hey, I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. I didn't see you there.
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
That's not me.
Oh, you mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
That's fraud.
My name?
What's a little fraud got to do with anything? Never in a million years would I thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy.
The SL9 incident.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought you know what that is, Gumshoe.
I don't know what that is.
But Lana, that's...
I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here.
Yeah, honestly, obviously this case is important, so I would like to read them.
You might do well to read them.
I can't believe you. The chief prosecutor were a witness in that case.
Miss Sky was a witness? Files for the Joe Dark killings.
Joe Dark.
Take it from me. You don't want anything to do with serial murder.
Take it from me. Could I read about that right now?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
just
go do
gave
that.
it to you.
Hold up. I'm curious. Perpetrator Joe Dark, crime, serial murder, sentence, death.
Death.
Edward Jones, Vic Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss,
Kirby!
Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Okay, that's sus immediately. Head prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth, witness, Lana and Emma. Executive investigators, Damon King, this guy. So we just we got the whole gang together.
Whoa.
This is SL9 too.
Dun dun dun.
Mr. Cowboy.
Wow.
It seems Mr. Cowboy has personal interest in that.
I can't believe you read it through so fast.
I'm a fast reader.
Oh, well, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're gonna ignore me?
I was actually just reading it.
Oh,
Emma,
yeah,
but
sure.
why? I'm glad I read that, or else this line would really confuse me. Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SO9 incident, is that...
That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings.
The Joe Dark... No, Lana! That's over with! No! Bye! Emma, wait! She ran away.
You know what? I just remembered I gotta wash my dog. See you later. Sorry, pal. I'm out of here.
Damn, he's gotta wash his dog. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth.
Miles Edgeworth.
Why was he echoing in my brain? Not to mention
I'm
Lana
always
and
here,
Emma.
right?
Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you, you might just be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
Except for that Mike Meekins guy. He apparently wasn't involved at all.
Thank God.
I better take a good look at this file. Dun 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 dun. I am not done though. I will keep going.
Can't wait. Southern accent Llama Hombre is incoming.
Bam, 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 bam.
Oh boy.
February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Holy
Number
shit! I
9?
can't believe the thing. Good night, Smunch.
Good night.
You know you were here.
Good night, Sponge.
Good night, Smudge.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. I guess it's a good thing I'm voicing Phoenix, which is just my normal voice. I don't try.
Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Southern Llama Hombre.
Yo, he's drinking on the stand.
Witness... Oh boy. Please state your name and occupation.
Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization.
Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out.
To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind. Never heard Edgeworth described that way before.
Now then, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime took place. Is this correct?
According to the papers, partner.
What do you mean?
Desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. I don't even know what a Texas is.
Day of the crime.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone.
He's already failed. Kill him.
Death! They say I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that just ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyways. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
What the hell, dude?
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
What the fuck?
Ooh, a burn.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
What the shit?
He's not being very helpful.
He's not that good with machines or with following orders.
Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
Why are you mentioning me?
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Just, if you kill him, I don't care. Just go nuts. Failure. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room?
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who entered the recordings.
That's a good fucking
You
line.
interred them?
Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours.
Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
This guy has flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room.
They said I was supposed to be making the rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style.
Hold it! But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in his way.
No desperados I know joined the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime...
Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
Awesome. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks.
Necro dancers?
How does this guy avoid being fired?
Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway.
Can we add that to you? Let's say, hold up. Can we add that to like the testimony? Are you on this list? Am I misremembering this? Like, I'm not presenting this. No, you're not. Okay, I am misremembering this. Never mind. I'm full of shit. Move on.
He's full of shit.
He's full of shit.
You used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Of course. Back in my day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence.
And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism?
Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works.
That's quite incredible.
The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? At the street side saloon, like a burger joint?
Burger joint?
What were you doing in a place like that?
I was eating Five Guys.
I was eating spaghetti.
Oh,
Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Vongole sepia pasta.
Now, mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
Mario now. Do you mean to tell us you obeyed your police duties to eat some noodles?
Not all desperados eat tacos, partner.
That's the name of my new sitcom. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually what Edgeworth says. Did you not want to raise this year? That's why he's in my brain.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
I'll press everything. Yeah, this dude's just gonna get fired regardless of his relevance. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall?
That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset.
One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything.
Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that.
Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I better up the ante. Okay, so don't use the fingerprints yet. It's what Phoenix is telling me. Don't fire that bullet.
Gun.
So let's just make rounds. What do I got on me? I have 2 million pieces of evidence here, so bear with me. I mean, this is my magic move. We're not there yet. There's this jar that we still don't seem to know what's up with, but...
It's unstable. Did you know it's an unstable jar?
Somebody reread his words. Supposed to make rounds 3 times a day. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems. If I remember right, I was on the streets. I think it's just yours. I think my music is right.
I think sounds right to me.
What are you doing?
There's a question in chat about the sound.
Oh.
The fact that I'm not immediately leaping about the fingerprints has thrown me.
Well, let's go and ask our good friend.
Do I have anything else on this guy? He's not on that.
I don't completely know if the prints are what Phoenix is talking about when he's talking about his trump card.
I think it's probably the prince. I don't think it was brought up before.
I know he talked about it today, I just don't remember what it was.
Nah, I don't think so, because then he would have just called it out. I think he just said only the fingerprints were there, and we didn't know who they were for. Maybe.
Presumably I do it on this one, because I say, yo, I'm not out of ammo. Because your prints are in there. Because none of these other statements seem to specifically, like other saloon. You got prints there that could be at any time, right? I feel like this statement is the one I should hit.
Yeah, in general, like, statements like these are like red fucking targets.
Yeah, let me...
Yeah.
If it's... Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The trump card might be... Yeah, there's a couple things it could be, actually. So, Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you drag me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
The thing's frozen. Give me a moment. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds, about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
Objection. I only wish it were, Mr. Officer. Mr. Officer.
Mr. Officer.
But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Holy shit, I can't believe there's a cowboy in the courtroom. Witness! What's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
Uh-oh.
What?
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. Point. About the blood-stained fingerprints?
Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime.
The fingies.
I was gonna say it was 3 months ago. I fucking cut my finger on my cowboy boots.
Blood-stained fingerprints.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. Murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it.
That's sus as shit.
I don't
That's so
know.
sus as shit.
No, the murderer was super not wearing gloves because wait, who's not? Okay, I have a video, and I don't think either party is wearing gloves in it. So, the witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. But first I'm going to press every statement in order. As you should. As I learned after Angel Star kicked my ass.
Angel Star.
Hold it! That's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. Then one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Hold it! So then, what about the bloody handprint?
Wasn't mine. It's no mystery.
Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. Just so happened,
Oh, he's okay. Well, sure. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
on the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
He's got me, officer.
Damn.
Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Bloodstain and fingerprint are completely unrelated.
Sure. Well, I'm not sure. Unrelated?
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murder.
He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. He's won me over. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this.
Serial killer.
Yeah, that's like a huge... So what am I doing? How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
There was a bloodstain on the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture?
This seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards.
Yep.
There's only one reality, and that's this.
The security tape.
So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
Ah, but it is that fucking thing that pops up in your locker magically at the end of the video. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner?
Yeah, well, that's a new thing. Obviously, I just revealed the video so I could show the scene, right? I'm right. I'm wrong. Fuck!
Yeah, don't do
Should have
that.
pressed it. Yeah.
No! Ah, I should have pressed it. Damn, you're right. But let me blow up.
No, try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright.
I thought about it! You just don't agree with what I'm trying to tell you!
Maybe try pressing the statement next time.
Oh, we've talked about it! What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
Too bad
Objection.
you never presented it.
But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. God damn it, things. Blind spots! Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
Objection, Mr. Wright. We don't have time for your speculations.
Well, Mr. Wright, you could show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present. Please do so now, yes. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might end up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. I'm on it.
Oh, no. Now you have
No way I'm wrong
bar.
this time. No way I'm wrong this time.
I don't know. I'm Edgeworth. I'm looking at you.
You,
Hello,
it's his
Dr.
locker.
Free
Stuff
Money.
shows up in his locker magically at the end of the
All right,
video.
all right,
Mike
let's see
Meekins is
it.
going to get his
Okay.
ass kicked.
Chill.
All right.
Bam, ah!
I'm dead.
Fucking dead.
Oh no, Mike Meekins is
Me when I'm playing
deceased.
Lethal Company.
Enough.
God.
Dun 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 dun. I did it before and I will do it again. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
Yes. Very well.
1, 2.
You can clearly be seen in this video.
That is 8 words.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Hello, Blue Badger. Hello, dead Mike Meekins. Boo.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's epic free money.
It's not there.
Whoa.
Oh! The white cloth! It's gone! What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Holy shit, I can't believe you finally pointed it out correctly. Order, order! It would seem that's the only...
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it.
Gun.
The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. Not my fault he happened to choose mine.
No, we've been over this. You're fucking dumb.
Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
Dude, when even the judge is ready to dog you.
You get the
This guy
black
isn't just
screen.
playing dumb. He really doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who could open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it.
Done.
Okay. You need the prints.
A fingerprint sensor?
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
Fuck. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Get owned,
Boy.
idiot. Is eating jerky?
I only got one word for you, partner. No!
Oh, shit! Oh my god, he just fucking blew up!
You got shot.
Order! Witness, explain yourself. Also, did you just get shot?
If this is a joke, this is the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Ole! Please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we could figure the rest out from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? It's Bruce Goodman who's the victim, right? Like, just making sure we haven't swapped Meekins into the victim because he got his ass kicked.
I think Meekins is the victim.
Meekins,
In this.
so this is the open locker.
Yeah, I would.
No.
Yeah, I think
No. Like, I'm right, but I don't know if we've swapped. The victim is still Goodman.
Yeah, the victim is still good.
So, it'd be the victim. Yeah, okay. Officer Marshall was standing right here. Fair, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was.
Oh, that's so confusing. Okay, you're right.
Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
Objection. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
Objection. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show him his card, sir. Guess how Detective Goodman responded. He's only Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it! If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantially full of shit right now. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it?
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
Ah, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed.
What the fuck?
I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall but no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics? For me, that would be what... Which one are you? Mia used to tell me. I always want to pronounce her name wrong.
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box.
I don't believe in boxes. Not anymore. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the scene of the crime, time of the crime, and the scene. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. It's the blood stain that happens on his shoulder, because he can't wear the blood stain outside if he's dressed up as Goodman. Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. It's gotta be the blood.
Watch the video times in
Let's go watch the video. Let's go watch the video. Well, this guy is opening the locker. He is the cowboy. Mike Meekins is coming out down to kick some ass. Oh my god, Mike Meekins sucks. Oh, it's already there. Hold up. We gotta go back.
We're winding it back. We're throwing
that
back.
was the wrong button. I have to go back for real.
We're
Hold up.
throwing back again.
Boom. Boom, boom. What the fuck is
Over
this?
and over. Meekins gets fucking stabbed.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet.
Yet.
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat! You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
Holy shit, he put partner in quotation marks. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgewood.
I'm always happy. See?
2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
Alright. Seems like the time has come.
Marshall's confession.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just let I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room. 515.
So the supposed victim was really you.
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room.
Oh, that is true. I did forget
If
about
no
that.
one was murdered, then how could that be?
Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
There's way too much blood for such a small donation. I mean, I think I understand his motive here, but that's not what we're looking for. His motive is that someone related to him was
How do you do that there?
in the victim list for
Yeah, to do
SO9,
with that
so
day.
evidently he's not pleased on how that turned out.
I had to do it.
Had to do it to him. Hold it! You did not have to do it to him. When you say it, you mean...
I stabbed the fuck out of Meekins.
What?
You even have to ask, partner?
The SO9 incident.
2 years had passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day.
Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
It is over.
But what did you
Officer
hope to
Marshall.
accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
The case is closed. Only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself for one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him.
Okay. Hold it. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning of the incident.
So that really was why Goodman started filing out the lost item report.
I returned his ID card.
He returned his ID card.
I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean that the fingerprint activated lock, of course, was your downfall. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you cannot change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could because the rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. How convenient.
I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out.
Tell me everything about it. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Sure fucking did. Let's say I was just a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise next year. Or this year.
All he
Fuck,
does is
both years.
guard a badger, so... When did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and all.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
And managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera.
So you did your research beforehand.
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day...
There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker.
Actually, no, I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Holy shit, I can't believe there's more missing shit. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Jake Marshall just got, like, in the middle of, like, an already planned thing. With his own elaborately planned thing.
Real ding and romp hours right here, Dr.
Officer
Freeman.
Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
I just can't forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
Hold it, tell me. That case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Doc was convicted for his crimes. I was there. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Doc case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Whoa.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files. Okay, so present the file there because it's somewhat in relation.
I had to do it to him.
You know I have to.
Did an excellent job, detective. Except you didn't.
I almost pressed again for funsies.
That would have been.
We would have all made fun of you.
I don't know why I'm objecting when I'm actually kind of agreeing. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Marshall, are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall?
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago,
There he is.
he received the same lousy prosecutor you got.
What? The prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right. He was killed. The case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother.
He took his hat off.
Apparently the cowboy also ran in the family.
He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police.
Look at him go.
The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all he needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. Case was finally closed. At least according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with this resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, the things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
Objection! But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Oh, Mr. Wright, which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But the muffler!
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
Seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
Now you're just here as commentary.
All the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less, right?
Ah! He gets shot.
I rest my case.
Holy shit, I can't believe more guns are being fired. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time. Disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. The muffler.
Hold it.
Hold it. Oh. Your Honor, wait. Emma, the defense has an objection. A scientific objection. It's about the muffler, I fucking hope, right? We still never solved that, I don't think. We just talked about it, then Gant showed up and said, "Hello there, there's been a murder in my police department." What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? In a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the S09 incident referred to the Joe Dar killings. Now that she mentions it. The names of both Sky Sisters were in that file. If the cowboy is gone, I'm giving Phoenix back to Llama.
What, me? Okay, fine.
Well, it's because
names
you have
of
no
both-
one. You have no one else in the room.
Fine, sure. The names of both Sky Sisters were in that file.
Emma and Phoenix are similar, because I don't do anything for Phoenix. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So you did find something.
No.
Huh?
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Fuck. Goodbye.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy.
Time's up! Now then, Mr. Wright! With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing?
I mean, yes, there's something.
No, there's no problem.
It's fine.
It's just fine.
Yeah, that's fine, Dr. Free Money. Dang, Free Money.
Fuck if I know.
I have shit in New York.
I'm just gonna... Well, I'll object and we'll figure it out then.
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange.
Oh no, he's figured out something I haven't. I don't like it.
Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes, something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? Oh, Jesus.
Good luck, Dr. Free Money.
I mean, this thing is sus. Because I don't know what it is. Or why it's here, or why it was broken. I don't think I'm showing the floor plans on the floor plans, I'm just looking at them. Something is not drawn on the floor plans?
I think we should ask Llama, who's right here with us.
I mean, there was caution. Oh, fuck it. There's caution tape after the crime didn't happen. Ah, fuck.
You got it. You'll figure it out.
pretty confident.
It's gotta be the vase. Right? I'm just looking through everything. No, it's this asshole! This motherfucker was there.
Yeah, well done, you found it.
What about that piece of plywood?
You're still in the room.
Yeah, of course I'm still in the room.
I gave him back. Whoopsie. I'll do it, whatever. The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So
watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? That's right, so long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
what?
Oh my god, he got shot again. Who's firing at him? So that means... just what exactly does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. I'm over here again. Emma. On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in? Just one moment, I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom! It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time was not here. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
Whoa!
Yo, we're banging.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Objection! The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
Objection. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that could show that. Now then, will the defense please present this evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? I mean, the autopsy report says he could have died way earlier, right? Anywhere between 4 and 5:30. But also, at 4:20. Or I guess if Edgeworth did it, but I have my doubts. This is one of those things, like, there's only one evidence. Well, I have two things that talk about the time that he could have been dead. It's definitely one of those two. But since we're focusing on the evidence room, I'm going to do the evidence room one first.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'll just do the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh! The ID card record!
Who's the mysterious
Officer Meekins brought the
777?
Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at Let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! Ah! Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done?
Oh my
I
god.
never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
I just fuck whoever was then. I guess if fuck whoever's in F420.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. And unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
We got our mystery man on top.
It's me, Freems.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again.
It's me, Freem. I'm right there.
There's only one card number remaining. 7777777. Barlow's favorite number.
You're darn tootin'.
Talk about a lucky number.
I don't
But
know
wait,
about
that doesn't
one.
make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777. 7.
That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. I counted. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present.
What?
Explain yourself, son.
The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
Well, good news. I think there's only one person we've met so far. Objection! Unless they throw a new character at us. But that's ridiculous! Just how?
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
What the fuck? What are we
Uh-oh.
talking about? We're just looking for a number.
Objection. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question.
Yes.
No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana?
Objection. Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SO non-incident?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really...
Damn.
Dang, llama got cut off. No.
Got cut out.
Did you reel?
Really?
For like one word.
Yeah. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? He's very dumb.
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we...
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did.
No? Lana?
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't!
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved,
But Lana!
even if it involved forging evidence.
Oh. What? You got anyone else we could flash at?
See? That's what I'm talking
I was
about.
hoping we could get a gumshoe in there.
No. No!
Holy, oh my, this is, oh my god, it's so, order!
Oh my god, he's forged evidence. Oh my god. Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled.
Conclusion
Conclusion of the trial.
God damn. Would have to
Have
wait
to wait
until the
following day.
God damn. They're pissed.
Oh my god. It's like
They got that man using fake evidence.
Edgeworth used fake evidence.
No, I'm gonna start this investigation, but I'm definitely not gonna finish it. Assuming it's anywhere close to as long as the last one.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
But I don't wanna not get a leg up on it. So I'll go for like another 45 minutes, probably stop around 10.
Sounds good.
Writing co-law officers. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Usually I took a break, so this flashback would be more warranted.
We did what we had to. We had to be cringe to get him. We forged evidence. He gave it to Miles Edgeworth.
I didn't know my sister was cringe. I never knew that the SR9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Yo,
Lana
mama.
wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? I did it! On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. Oh. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. Let's talk about that shit. Well, whoops. Let's not go anywhere. Let's talk about that shit.
Let's move.
Let's move.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened?
I'm back.
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly,
12, 15.
a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture. We'll talk about that later. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted the guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it based on him exploding yesterday. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. He never invented robots, so it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. Oh, what's that pouring in the picture? What you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl? And he lost his cowboy hat? I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma, you've been through so much. She looks weird in that specific image.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable.
Your drawings were shit. I'm sorry.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I wanted to be able to fight crime with my testimonies, and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. Good teamwork. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective's office and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly! Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. Oh. She was the best in the entire force. Was that mentioned in the files earlier? Didn't I just read it wrong? It said she was, like,
so.
executive on the case. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. Yeah, she was like in charge of it. I guess... I'm just curious. Oh, I guess executive investigators. I guess because Gant was there. He's just like big policeman.
Damn and Gant.
I didn't like coincide. I was like, oh, anyone could do that. Oh. Lana, what the fuck?
February 24th, Detention Center, Visitors Room.
Yo, what up? But Lana!
Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Yeah, everyone was screaming. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we?
But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks.
Lana, Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SO9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
Hey, it's the first time we've talked about anything. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one, 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I suspected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be.
That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believe that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth.
It couldn't be helped, Emma. That trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said? About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before.
It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
2 minutes ago. I've changed careers.
Minutes
twice.
ago.
She was amazing!
I was in the spot of that police guard in the corner.
They still talk about all the... I was there forever. They talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant?
He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was...
To gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use the experience in court, right?
Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command? That means the investigation led was Damon Gant, right?
Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office, same investigation.
They even had the same office.
We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel.
Lava?
Me?
He super died.
It was the first time
Yo, he's being killed on live TV.
What the? I'm being killed by Marshall.
Yeah, what the hell?
Marshall.
One of these words is not acknowledging. First time, it was the first time Mark. Quite.
Oh?
I don't. What the fuck? Okay, hold on.
Just
Voice
gung ho.
Noise suppression is going off. I'm done with this. It was the first time Marshall worked. He was quite gung ho. I feel like I still cut out at some point now.
For like half
Yeah,
a
with your
second.
brother, but it came out.
We made it. We
Figure this out a little bit.
gung ho moment.
Gung ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So we waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room.
Marshall.
From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself.
Geef can't.
Chief Gant, fuck me.
Yeah.
That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana?
It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark.
Gant is like a hard name to say despite being so simple because I keep wanting to say Grant.
Grant from the clock tower.
Yo, Clock Tower?
Clock tower?
Oh, damn.
Oh, let's go.
What the hell?
There's dead people. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out.
And the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Can't blame her, after all her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SO9 incident?
That's right. Quite a coincidence, huh?
I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago! At least one person went to the extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
Still a cowboy, though. I guess he
was
wasn't
still a
convinced with the
cowboy.
ruling against Joe Dark.
Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The Chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office. The site of the final SL9 murder. Can I just waltz in there?
Guess so.
How do I get to the...
What do you think about Suspense
I guess I'll just go straight here,
2001
right? Yeah.
Llama?
124th Police Station. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We could come back here later. Oh, well, that wasn't the right way to go. Oh, well, I can go here this time. Okay. Hi, I'd like to break into Gant's office, please.
Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall!
I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when an old Billy dried up this morning.
Is that your cactus? Billy? Must be his pet cactus. I'm good. Say, where are you headed?
Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go into the evidence room today, partner.
But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one.
Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened?
Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today.
We'll talk to
Present
you.
your badge. Present your badge. Do it.
Okay.
You gotta do it.
Fuck.
You're looking at it?
Nintendo DS, I hate you! Mr. Marshall, can you please have a look at this?
Sorry, Bambina. I'm not a patrolman anymore, and I'm certainly not a detective. I'm nothing more than a wanted man now. These old eyes of mine have seen too much as it is.
He does not care.
Damn it.
Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so.
What do you mean, fishy?
Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon.
The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip?
That was Joe Dark's, all right. But in the initial autopsy report, the question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained.
What does that mean?
It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon.
But
However, in the report that was finally submitted, the possibility had been erased.
could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence?
Forged evidence.
That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SO9 incident left behind. We'll talk about later.
I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
How old was he, your brother?
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day,
The highest honor? You mean the...
King of Prosecutors.
I knew it.
What are you looking at? What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SO9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal.
Oh, that's massively sus. Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty.
There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room.
What about Detective Goodman?
If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough to not be too obvious.
They? Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky.
Wombo Combo?
The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second in command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers.
After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, had arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left.
Hold up. According to my
I'm kind of
OBS,
chugging